Alright, so a couple of people out there have asked me to do some tutorial videos on how to successfully complete the glide phase in order to land closer to your target when attempting a planetary landing, as well as how to use the wave scanner once you're in your SRV, and a review of the Federal Corvette as compared to the Anaconda. So initially when people asked me to do this, I thought, fucking why? There's so much of this stuff out there, you guys don't need this from me. But peer pressure is a bitch and I'm drunk as hell, so let's do this. Alright, so what I like to do here is when I'm approaching a planet, I like to make it so that my head is towards the planet. You don't have to do this, you can approach it fucking sideways if you want. But for me, this helps me to gauge the spatial relation between where I am and where the surface of the planet is. Once you break into orbital cruise, there's a couple of things you want to pay particular attention to. Foremost, how many G's is this planet exerting on you? In particular, if you're in a larger ship, the amount of G's that you get once you drop into actual surface flight is going to make a huge difference on how your ship behaves. The second thing you want to pay close attention to is how far am I from my target versus how close am I to dropping out of orbital cruise and into surface flight. Now, optimally, to maintain the longest glide, you're going to want to keep your target between -12 and -16 degrees. Now, if you pull up too sharply, your pilot's going to black out. If you push down too sharply, your pilot's going to red out. Either one of these events is going to abort your glide. So in order to make sure that your target is kept cleanly inside of that -12 to -16 degree sweet spot, you're going to want to drop into surface flight about 90 kilometers from your target. Now you can do it a little further out than that, maybe out to 100 kilometers, but it's a lot more tricky to maintain that 12 to 16 degree sweet spot that I was talking about. If you do it any closer, well, you may have the testicular fortitude to pull that off, but that I've seen it doesn't really go well. So here you're going to see me very briefly push down sharply towards the planet to make sure that I break into surface flight right inside of that 90 or so kilometer sweet spot. So be advised, as soon as you break into the glide phase, you're going to be under the full effect of the planet's G's. If you pull up too sharply, your pilot blacks out, that aborts your glide. So as soon as I break into the glide here, you'll see me very slowly pull up to get my target cleanly in front of me and right in that -12 to -16 degree sweet spot. Once you get between 5 and 8 kilometers from the surface of the planet, the game is going to automatically eject you out of the glide phase and into surface flight mode, where you regain full control of your ship. This is where those G's you were paying attention to come into play, because the planet is naturally going to want to pull you towards its surface. Every ship's got thrusters on the bottom of it that push it away from the planet's surface if your flight assist is on. So don't bank too heavily on high G worlds, because that means the thrusters on the bottom of your ship can't do their jobs. You're going to fall towards the planet's surface very quickly. The larger the ship you're in, the more you need to pay attention to this, because that whole force equals mass times acceleration thing means a lot when you're on a high G world. You'll gradually get a feel for this over time. I don't know if any of this helped any of you guys, but if you walk away with even one thing that keeps you from slamming into the ground and quitting the game, then there we go. That was the purpose of this video. If you get any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to leave them below. I'll do my best to answer them in a timely manner. In the meantime, take her easy.